Morning guys, welcome to Magic Monday. So I was sitting in my office and I was wondering what I could do because I felt a little bit bored. So thought I'd do video for you guys and just share some stuff. So this morning I am going to do a meditation video. I'll do that one after this once I've got myself used to looking at the camera, and that is to help you find your sacred space. And I've taken a few people on this journey now, but not as many as probably needed at the moment, so I shall jump on and do that, pop that up on the channel. But I wanted to share, so I've just lit my sage for this morning, and you don't need much, right? It's tiny little abalone shell just with a little piece in there. I learn a lot from a lot of different sources, and Crow's forever reminding me, whether he does it intentionally or he just shows me that there's principles that we can live our life by. And I have been thinking about this a fair bit lately, especially with what's happening, not just the current issues. Today is the 30th of March 2020. So when we look back on this, we can sort of see how much the world shifted within a short space of time. But there's been other things happening over the last 2 years, 3 years, and I've chosen to not get involved. And just recently I started to look into some things. And what it actually did, what I found it's done, is that it's really dragged me into that space. And I had forgotten what the first principle is, and that is that the world is what you think it is. The second one is that, you get what you think about. So if you think the world is shit, then you're going to get more of that. And what I'm referring to in particular was 5G, so the rollout of 5G. I didn't know that much about it. I was a little bit worried. I had read some things and seen where some countries had decided not to let it happen, that sort of stuff. So I started to look into it. And then I remembered all of these basic principles. And I also remembered how your mind is really powerful and how wonderful your subconscious mind is, and how your words are very powerful, and that the subconscious doesn't hear the negative, right? So what it hears is only no emotion. All it hears is the current word. So for example, one of the Instagram accounts that I've been following is called No 5G Australia. The subconscious mind doesn't see the no, it doesn't hear the no. No is like a subjective word. To the subconscious, it doesn't mean anything. So all the subconscious sees is 5G Australia. And that got me thinking, if I don't want that sort of technology to enter my space, then how do I need to control my thoughts and my mind around it? And once I can do that, then I can help others to do the same thing. And this is what I've done. So considering that the world is what you think it is, and you get what you focus on, what I decided to do was to focus on what I wanted versus what I didn't want. So what that means is that I live in a space where we have adequate technology to service our needs, where the environment is well cared for, where we have an abundance of bees which helps to pollinate our fruit and vegetables and everything we need to feed ourselves, and that the planet is sustainable, and that humanity looks after it and themselves in a deeper and more compassionate way. And I thought that felt much better than sitting there thinking, how am I ever going to stop this? What can I do to help stop this, right? So that was the first thing that I wanted to mention, was the whole, to give you an example around the whole, you get what you think about. Now, in terms of the other stuff that's happening, I can see on Facebook, and Facebook's not the whole world, right? This is why I wanted to start using YouTube. But I can see that people are beginning now to realize that your words have power. So you're not stuck at home. You get to hang out at home. You get to be at home. You have a home, for starters. The other thing too, and I think about this a lot, if an alien race were watching us, how entertained would they be, right? You live in a house that you have a mortgage on, yet every morning you get up before you want to get up. You drag yourself out to a car that maybe you don't own. You get into the car, you drive that car to your place of work where you work all day, maybe with people that you don't necessarily like, perhaps doing jobs that you don't really love. You then get in your car and drive back home to your house, which you probably don't own. Bank probably owns it. And you're exhausted, so you turn on the television or do whatever it is that you normally do of an evening. So it's sort of a bit of a rat race. And this has given you an opportunity to break out of that rat race. You no longer have to go to that place. You can now just be at home, at the beautiful home that you rent, that you own, or the bank owns and you rent from the bank. You get to hang out at home and you just get to be there. So what is it that you want to do at home? Because you don't have to be chained to the computer all the time. You can actually go do whatever it is that you want. So it's an opportunity, right? Now, what else do I want to share with you today? So this is just random, right? It's just Magic Monday. So the other thing that I wanted to share with you is that I was doing these live, but I've decided not to do them live. I want to be able to record them and share them so that people might be able to watch them a bit later on, and maybe people can watch them from other channels rather than Facebook. So I hope that you appreciate that. And often people don't interact with me on lives anyway, so this is just as easy. Now, the things in my office this morning, you saw my sage before, but I've also got oils in the diffuser, and I thought that I would share with you what they are, what I picked for today, and we can have a look together, because I haven't looked this up yet, and see what it is that's the hidden message behind what I chose. So in my diffuser today is rosemary, and I did pick that for a reason. For starters, I put rosemary on my eyebrows every morning and every night because it helps to thicken hair growth. And I want some beautiful, well-defined eyebrows. But I also use rosemary because rosemary is the oil of remembrance to me. It's about knowledge and it's about remembering stuff. Anzac Day, they give you a sprig of rosemary and they give you that to remember. So, you know, it's been around forever. But rosemary is the oil of knowledge and transition, which is interesting. I didn't know that before I read the book this morning. I have it in the garden as well, and I love going down there and playing with it in the garden. But rosemary assists in the development of true knowledge and true intellect. It teaches that one can be instructed from a far greater space of understanding than the human mind. It challenges individuals to look deeper than they normally would and ask more soul-searching questions so that they may receive more inspired answers. So that's pretty cool. So we've got a couple of drops of that in the diffuser and on my face. The other oil I chose was wild orange, and I choose orange because I love citrus, and citrus is a natural uplifter of mood and energy. Wild orange is also the oil of abundance, so it helps you to feel joyful. It helps you to feel that energy and that goodness coming into your life. I can see my puppy dog in the background there. Wild orange. They're very happy, by the way, that I'm at home, and I'm at home all the time anyway, so to me this is no big change. The biggest change actually is that I don't get to travel. I'm not going and doing events, in-person events, and I'm not going and seeing clients at the moment, so that's probably the biggest change for me. Wild orange is the oil of abundance. It addresses a wide variety of emotional issues. It inspires abundance, fosters creativity, and supports a positive mood. Wild orange also reconnects individuals with their inner child and brings out spontaneity, fun, joy, and playfulness into one's life. So we've got rosemary there for our knowledge and transition. We've got wild orange to assist with abundance, joy, and happiness. And then I added ginger. So I've been having ginger pop up a bit lately. I've got another deck of cards there that I play with often. And ginger came out in that the other day as well. Ginger is good. I actually like ginger. I don't enjoy ginger to eat it, but I do enjoy ginger, the oil, because I add it into my smoothies, or I add it into stir fries if I make stir fries. Last night I made some more muesli, so I added a couple of drops of ginger into that as well, along with some cinnamon, and cinnamon's in this mix this morning. So ginger is all about empowerment and courage. Ginger holds no reservations. This oil has a purpose and will fulfill it. Ginger powerfully persuades individuals to be fully present and participate in life. It teaches that to be successful in life, one must be wholly committed to it. So that's pretty cool. The other thing that I read about ginger the other day is that you will succeed. You have a mission, and you will succeed this time. So yeah, ginger's been floating around me for a little bit, let's put it that way. Cinnamon bark is the other one that I popped in the diffuser. And to be honest, I can't really even smell them at the moment. With me, I smell that the different smells they waft in. So last night on my table, I've got some roses that I picked at an old hospital facility that I'd love to get hold of. And I have these beautiful old roses which actually have scent. You know, a lot of roses, you buy them now, they look nice, but they don't have a scent. These roses have a scent. And their petals are just starting to fall off. So their petals are still very vibrant with the smell, and they're still alive because they're soft, but they're no longer on the bud. So they're on my table, and I leave them there. I'm just going to let them dry. Might put them into a little bag maybe and use them for something. I don't know. Maybe I can put them into perfumes. Yeah, I'll think about that. So what I noticed last night, but was as I sat and I coloured in. So you need to do things, right? You need to do some fun things. So this is the picture that I'm colouring in at the moment. I just do little bits at a time. So while I was sitting there colouring in last night before I went to bed, I could smell all these different smells, and they would just waft in every now and then. So first I smelt the roses, which were sitting on the table and had been there all day. And that smell made me smile, and just my mind drifted off for a little bit. Then I smelt the rosemary, which was in the stuff that I was cooking for the puppy dogs. And it was amazing because that's in the kitchen. But I could just smell that one smell, and I just smiled. Then again, the roses drifted in, and then they went. And then I could smell what was in my tea that I had sitting next to me. And in my tea was ginger and cinnamon. And I could smell it. It just drifted past my nose. And in that moment, I was really amazed by how we can be doing something where we totally lose our mind, and a smell will come that will collect our thoughts and focus us on it. Enough for us to recognize that the scent is there, and then for our brain to compute as to what the scent actually is. Because somebody taught us that smell, right? Someone attached that word to that scent. And I find that really amusing, anyway, and entertaining. So cinnamon was the other one that went in this morning. Now I put cinnamon in with the intention of adding spice. I have ginger for courage, and I know that already about ginger. I have wild orange for abundance, I knew that. Rosemary is all about remembering and knowledge. I wasn't aware of the transitory side of it, so I welcome that. And cinnamon for the spice. Now cinnamon supports issues within an individual for accepting their body and embracing their physical attractiveness. Cinnamon dispels fear of rejection and nurtures healthy self-esteem. It can also bring clarity to souls who struggle with who they really are. I don't totally agree with what some books say cinnamon is for, but I do agree that cinnamon adds spice, and that cinnamon enlivens energy within you that you need to learn how to harness. I'll put it that way. So that's what's in my diffuser, which is pretty cool. Now what else do I want to show you? I think that's probably it. I might do a little card shuffle for you guys. And let's see what comes. I'm using this deck by Lucy Cavendish. I'm using this deck because it's a Monday morning, and often I do this. I sit on a Monday, and I'm actually telling people that I do this. I sit on a Monday and I shuffle these cards, and I wonder what the blessing is for the week, because most people's weeks run Monday to Sunday, which is interesting on its own too. I can already sense that, that today and this week's going to be fun. We're on a big adventure, right? And I did this video to help you to feel good, to give you some information. Maybe you got something out of it, maybe you didn't. And to just give you an idea or a bit of an overview of the stuff that I do in my office when I sit here wondering what it is that I'm meant to be doing, or what it is that I do behind the scenes, I guess, that a lot of other people don't see. I also read a lot of books, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I do a little bit of tapping every now and then, use a lot of essential oils. I look after myself, eat a lot of good foods, drink a lot of water out of vodka bottles, so everyone thinks I'm always drunk, but they're good to hold the water in. Okay. So the card that I just had fall out for us is a blessing on a resolution. It's card number 27. 2 and 7 is 9. 9's a good number. And what do you know? The page opens up straight away. A blessing to bring respectful resolution to a troubling condition, situation, or set of circumstances. How timely. It is a sad truth of the nature of humans that instead of cooperating, we sometimes compete, believing that unless we can have as much as possible, we may walk away from a dispute or negotiation with less than we feel we deserve. In this circumstance, sometimes the unfortunate aspects of humanity are most highlighted. Our greed, our inability to come together and truthfully speak our needs, and there can be manipulation. Within these circumstances, let us bring a blessing and ask for a higher power's will to take this circumstance and change it for the better. This coincides so well with some other videos that I have been watching lately, and I observe what is not seen and I observe what is not said. And when you're able to connect the dots between what is said and what is not, you're able to then find the path forward, if that makes sense. May there be a blessing on all concerned within this troubling time. This conundrum that has kept you awake and had you fearful, may all those involved see the beauty in a swift and easy solution, which presents itself simply and in perfect timing. We just got to change our thoughts, guys. May the quarrels and the disputes become history and be learned from, so that errors of judgment are never repeated. Please remember that you have complete control. May any ill feelings be softly replaced with quiet optimism and a willingness to be open, honest, and understanding of all parties' true needs. May all involved become their best self, devoted to finding a way through the puzzle pieces of peaceful resolutions of a grievance. May there be no more trickery, no more hiding, no more falsehoods, no more rancor, and no more fear. Let all those involved come to a respectful meeting and truthfully find a fruitful way to restore dignity to all. May your particular needs be more than met. May your expectations be unclouded, and may greed fall away from any who have sought to take advantage of these troubles. May none profit from the separations that have taken place. Oh my God. but may what is decided to be fair and just, and recognise all that you have contributed for so long. May there be a blessing on every conversation, on every meeting, and finally when you walk away from the table and all is divided and terms are agreed upon, may all brooding subterranean resentments be rooted out and purified, never to rise again. Let you be satisfied and make the most of this resolution and go forward free from any burdens and uplifted and supported by what you have rightfully and honourably gained. That's pretty pertinent to today, and extremely cool. So thank you very much for that little reading. I hope that you enjoy this video. It's just purely here for inspiration, to have a bit of a chat, to share a little bit of some of the things that I enjoy doing, that I'm passionate about and that I share, because I don't get to see everybody face to face anymore. So now this is my solution. Have a magical Monday and a wonderful week. See you guys.